Hello, my wonderful visitors. So today I will be doing a tarot reading for you about what is shifting in your life. Get some information, and if you resonate with it, I'll ask the cards for a bit of advice as well. So the way this will work is I will draw 2 to 3 cards from this deck, and based on those cards, whichever one that you feel the most attracted to today, or that feels the most meaningful right now, or maybe you just really enjoy the aesthetic of the image, whatever the reason may be, if you feel drawn towards one or all of the cards, that will be the reading for you. You can find the links to each reading in the description box below. After I choose the cards as well, I will be selecting objects for each card in case you are having some difficulty choosing just by the image. So, for my listeners today, what is shifting in their life? Oh, okay. The Ashwagandha, as well as the Elder. Let me show you these cards more up close. Ashwagandha, I want to say it's a root, but I might be wrong. I mean, I guess it would be the whole plant, but what is used probably medicinally or herbally is the root primarily. And here is the elder plant. I know I've heard of elderberry, but yes. All right, I will leave these cards here. Feel free to pause for a moment if you want some help choosing, or to take a moment and consider your options. And if you stick around, I will be right back with some objects. Alrighty, dear listeners, I've come back with some objects corresponding to these cards today. For Ashwagandha, I've selected this citrine stone. It's one of the few that I have, one of the few stones that I have, I hope that this is showing up clearly. And for the elder tree or berry, I have this soap, this hand soap. I believe it has rosemary in it. So feel free to take a moment and select which of these 2 readings feels correct for you today. All right, see you soon. Okay, my lovely visitors, today we are going to explore what has been shifting in your life. If you're here, that means you've selected the Ashwagandha reading, or maybe you have chosen to be here due to the citrine stone. I think these ones as well as this one. Let's start with these 2. What has been shifting in your life? We have the 6 of Cups. So something pertaining to some older dreams of yours, or older relationships or places, I think has been shifting. We have the 2 of Swords. This very powerful figure. Let me read a little bit about this. Consult the guidebook for the 2 of Swords. So this is about a Hindu epic about Sita. The Two of Swords represents being stuck between hard choices. Sita's decision between Skyla and Charybdis, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing those correctly, is not easy and cannot be made blindly. It calls for self-reflection. Things can only remain balanced for so long before a move must be made. So some keywords are facing fears, a stalemate, denial, opposition, or a precarious position. What's so interesting to me is even though the description has talked about a very difficult place to face your fears and choose between two different things, Sita here, I think, looks like she's meditating on everything. And despite the fire, she seems kind of unbothered. Or she is aware of what the right choice is. Or maybe meditating on it to become aware and trusting that she will make the right choice in the end. So far what I'm seeing is something to do with a part of your life that goes way back. Maybe it's from your childhood, maybe it's a long-held dream of yours or a fantasy, maybe it's even from previous generations, or something you've inherited, whether from your family of origin or your chosen family. Maybe some difficult decisions are coming up for you to make. The Ashwagandha root too is something that brings, it strengthens power, it strengthens your muscle, it also strengthens your mind. So having maybe part of what is shifting in your life is learning to have that sort of fortitude and strength in order to face your fears in this area of your life. Yeah, I'm curious what these other two cards are, so I will show them and see what other connections I make here. We have the Sun card. This beautiful symmetrical sun radiating outwards, and this Egyptian god standing on a boat. I want to say it's Ra, but let me check. The sun. The sun god Ra. The sun is success, birth, confidence after passing through difficult times. Egyptian sun god Ra proves everything is illuminated with optimism and enthusiasm for the path ahead. Keywords are satisfaction, accomplishment, joy, luck, and vitality. And the last card that we have here is the Knight of Swords. Let me find the description. It's the story of Hang Tuah, a Malaysian warrior legend. The Knight of Swords is a strong and assertive warrior. Hang Tuah, an intelligent soldier, is unafraid of leaping into battle and employing unconventional techniques to win. He's rebellious, loyal, and a fierce champion. Keywords are intellect, bravery, confidence, and being action-oriented. So what calls out to me right away is that of these tarot cards so far, the Sun is the one from the major arcana, which is like the sort of more primary cards in a tarot deck. The major arcana are cards representing the Fool's journey from, like kind of birth or like heading out to the world through death all the way to like finding peace and everything and finding the world, and it kind of loops back over again. It's kind of a story about cycles in life. So the fact that the Sun card is here is telling me that the shift happening in your life is maybe towards what the Sun represents, this sort of energetic power and confidence and optimism here. So what's shifting in your life is maybe, again, it's regarding an area of your life that has to do with long-held desires of yours. And you are finding power, gaining power, learning to maybe act more quickly on your thoughts. Maybe you're analyzing things more quickly and more like in a way that better services you, combining thoughts and action. Maybe in this area of your life right now, you're going from sort of reflecting on things and weighing decisions and feeling as though parts of your life were sort of on fire, so to speak, to sort of harnessing that fire. I'm imagining these fires sort of enveloping this person and becoming the person becoming the sun. Yeah, the ashwagandha root. This could be also an area of your life that pertains to either like literal strength, maybe something that you've always dreamed of was becoming really strong, like working out or something. It could be pertaining to mental strength, mental fortitude in some area of your life. Maybe you've been having trouble sort of finding optimism, finding like purpose, maybe. And so you've been thinking on it for a long time and are now sort of beginning to jump into action. Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of open questions. Maybe I'll ask a little more about what exactly are like this area of life, or are these areas of life that might be impacted by this energy recently or in the near future. Tell me more, please, about this aspect of life that is an area that these shifts have been sort of a long time in realizing. What exactly are our visitors today looking to sort of lean into their power in? Move these up. We have the King of Swords with a griffin. So many swords here. The two, the knight, and the king. There's definitely something here about learning to wield your mind. So perhaps what the ashwagandha, like the aspect of this whole thing that is shifting in your life right now, relates to how you are wielding your thoughts, what trains of thoughts you go down, maybe how you consider your decisions, how you weigh those choices, those pros and cons. Maybe something about that has been shifting for you. And the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords uses her intellect to sort of get out of a situation she doesn't want to be in, but is forced to be in. And I think maybe that could be what's sort of shifting for you, is my hunch, is that you were kind of placed in a situation here regarding these dreams where you couldn't really realize it and you were doing your best. And what's shifting is you're in a place where you're a little more able to act. You have maybe more movement. Maybe one path feels more correct to you and aligned to you right now than it ever has before. Or maybe more options are opening up to you. I'm not super sure. Let me ask about this. In this area of life, how are things shifting right now to sort of create this fast action? Can you tell me more about this, the energy of life and light here? Can I have some more specifics, please? I think this card came out and this card came out to me. This one first. We have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords represents a betrayal. It can be interpreted as a betrayal from an external party, but it is also very much tied to a betrayal of the self. And there's lightning coming down. I think you have been in pain potentially for a very long time, visitor. You've been hiding your true self in some ways, or pushing it down, not really trusting others around you. And then a shift or what might have sparked this shift is something suddenly happened to like reveal a secret that you had to yourself or to others around you, or someone else, it feels like they've betrayed you, and you realize that like part of it was the way that you have been as well. Yeah, something about the lack of trust is, I think this has prompted this shift to, like, this energy reminds me of the Tower card, the Major Arcana Tower card, where it's like the foundation of the tower kind of crumbles. The tower breaks apart. There's a lot of chaos. But it also like invites an opportunity to build up a stronger foundation and a stronger place. So it's like that, but smaller, you know, pertaining to this particular energy or this particular part of your life. You've gone through some hardship, and that has prompted you to, I almost want to say, like look away from some aspect of your life. And you're finding more purpose now, more clarity, more strength of mind, more resolve in your decisions, because maybe this betrayal happened and it was someone who you were kind of doubting for a while and they showed their true colors maybe. yeah, maybe there was a situation that became so painful, and now you're sort of leaning away from that because it feels like it got, like the last straw happened, and then now you're moving away from it with a lot of strength, courage, and resolve. You finally decided, this is it. I'm not going there anymore. Let me see if this last card has more to add. We have the Six of Coins, which is a card of generosity, of giving and receiving back. So maybe this situation had to do with someone who was not reciprocating whatever you were giving in to them, or giving to them, providing them. And now you're moving maybe towards what feels more aligned to you, which is that energy of like renewal almost. Like if this is about a person or people, a group, maybe this is about sort of moving away from people who were not your people, who did not feel like satisfying energies with yours. Maybe they didn't, like I said, it feels like there was a betrayal here. There was a final straw. Maybe you felt like you were giving more to the relationship than you were getting from these relationships. And now you're realizing that you have other groups in your life, or you're finding, maybe you're seeking these other people in your life who can provide that, who you can care for without expectation, but they care for you back. And that brings a lot of wealth and prosperity. Maybe not literally, but emotionally. I'm not sure about that one. But yes, I think the other thought that came to mind is like, even if this isn't about groups of people, maybe this is within yourself. You have this nostalgic card and this power card. I wonder if you've known maybe for a while now that some situation that you've been in for a long time that feels very good, or in some ways very good to you, you've known that it's not quite right. And again, with this sort of final straw feeling, I think you've realized that even though it may have seemed very, on the surface, really cheery and like a joyous place to be, again, people to work with, or a literal location, somewhere you are living, or otherwise, like maybe a career or something. While on paper it seemed really great, for a long time you've been considering another option because you've had a lot of pain. You feel like you've had to face a lot of opposition, and it hurt a lot to feel like you had to be protecting yourself in this situation for a long time. And now you're facing the other direction. You realized you don't want to be reinforcing this cycle anymore, even though it may be a situation that has brought you some amount of happiness. It was also always sort of tinged with darkness, or yeah, for some reason this fire right now, the word that came to mind was passion. Maybe it was both passionate but also very dark. There were a lot of aspects to these people or your work or whatever it is that did not feel great, even if some of it also felt good. But even the good might have been harmful. So I think that is your reading. In a second, I'll draw one last card. But again, to summarize, what I see here is that the shift that is happening in your life right now is that you're moving away from a situation that feels like it has heavy consequences for you and has been for a while, despite the good. You're learning to sort of end that cycle of energy and move towards a mental space that is a lot more peaceful, where you feel like what you give out ends up coming back in. Let me draw a final card for you, just to see if there's anything I'm missing or to reinforce the message here. I think this bottom card here is what called out to me. We have grow. Take inspired action. So again, the themes that I'm seeing here is to move away. You know in your heart, you've known for a long time that this situation is not the greatest for you. So take action to grow, whether it's just like in your mind, learning to let go of this self-betrayal, or whether it has to do with rearranging your external life, who you surround yourself with, maybe looking to find a new career or a new job, sort of starting that, or whatever else it may be. I think that these cards are suggesting that these shifts that are happening in your life are, again, this is something you've been sitting on for a long time, and now you are going to be choosing, or you may be finding yourself choosing to act on what you have known. Yeah, that is what I see for you today, dear visitor. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe for more. I will be thinking about this reading for a while. It was quite a lot more intense than I was expecting, but I hope you enjoyed regardless. And just a disclaimer, I'm not a professional. I don't know you personally, so please take all of my readings with a grain of salt. I do it because I really enjoy interpreting the cards, and if you do receive something that feels very aligned to you, then it is my pleasure to provide. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hello, my lovely visitors. So if you're here, that means that you have chosen the Elder card or the Rosemary bar soap for this reading today. So today I'll be consulting the cards and asking, what is an area of your life, visitor, that may be shifting? What is an area of your life that might be shifting, whether it's already started to happen or about to happen soon? Okay, we have this card, this card, this card. And I think I will draw from these as I see necessary later. So first we have the Sun card. The Sun card was also a big part of the first reading. So if you were at all attracted to the first card we had, the Ashwagandha or the Citrine stone, I would highly recommend that you check that one out as well. Ooh, we have the Devil card. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so I noticed with the Devil card, but it's kind of affirmed with the Eight of Wands. There's a lot of fire theme in this reading today. We have the Sun, this blazing ball of fire. We have the Devil with this snake winding through the woods, which is on fire. We have the Eight of Wands, which is the rainbow bird, which brings the fire to the people through the cold winter. Yeah, I'm very curious what this energy means. A shift that is happening in your life today. Let me read a little bit about the Devil card. Let's see. The Devil. The Devil, this illustration is of Boitata from Brazil. The devil gives in to the ego, lusting for unnecessary or harmful things, unwilling to leave negative situations. It is a dragon sitting upon a pile of gold it does not need. A person setting a forest on fire for their own gain. Keywords are greed, controversy, violence, strange experiences, and addiction. So what came to mind here is maybe something that began as a very healthy like mechanism for you, something that brought a lot of joy or stability or balance in your life, sort of became toxic. Whether this is a habit of yours, a relationship of yours, something else entirely. The elder plant, it sort of symbolizes in, I think in Britain or something, elder plants sort of became used as like a border plant, a plant for like warding off evil, because it is found at a lot of the edges of forests in Europe. So I think I see something here about boundaries, protecting yourself from the energy of the devil, what you know is bad for you. And something that I find important to say here, there's an important distinction between what other people say is bad for you and what you feel is bad for you. What situations you've gone through again and again that have always ended up in sort of sinking you down further, whether it's keeping you weighed down to a situation that has been destroying parts of you, whether that be your health, your finances, spending too much money on things and not being able to save up, or draining your energy, that sort of energy. So like I was saying, I think some shift that's happening is that you're starting to value your overall well-being a little bit more. You're starting to take more preventative action. The elder berries, I think, are good for preventative health. Like they help strengthen the immune system to fight off, the things that might harm your body. And the flowers are actually quite useful for colds and illnesses. So the elder plant as a whole is very much a symbol for boundaries, protection, like preventing the bad things from happening. And so what I see here is that what's shifting is maybe you're starting to understand how to use this your fire, whatever the thing is you were thinking of, more in a way that helps you with the cold without overwhelming you or pulling you deeper into negative situations. So let me see if I have any questions for the cards given this. I think one thing is I would like some hints maybe about this this sort of whatever this negative thing has been, or the initial positive into the negative thing. What might that be? Let me shuffle this small pile of cards and see which one is the one that wants to come out. The second card. Okay, and then this first card. So could I have some more clues, please? We have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is also very fiery. She's the Hawaiian goddess Pele, and she symbolizes, like, right now I'm thinking sort of strength, optimism, curiosity, like explosiveness. I also think of emotions as well, like a lot of explosive energy, but she brings, through her action, through all that explosion, through the activity, that's the word I was looking for, through her activity, she brings nourishment to the land. She is the land. She has, through her activity, she has a lot of wealth. And so here, I think maybe there's something here about being very productive, or using maybe powerful powerful emotions to your advantage. Maybe this speaks to, like, with volcano erupting and fire, I can think of, like, fire can be a lot of different things. It can be like anger, explosive anger. If you've historically used anger as a way to drive yourself to do things, perhaps it's talking about anger here. Or if it's sort of a relentless, like, persistence, maybe another aspect that these cards could be talking about for you potentially could be sort of your persistence and drive, sort of continuing to go at things, sort of no matter what. Or let's see, something else could be, again, I'm thinking of the explosions and things, and how there's like this cycle. When the explosion happens, it actually destroys a lot, right? Before, while also providing the nutrients for things to grow back again. But of course, if the volcanoes are so active, then nothing can live there. So maybe it's maybe if there's any areas of your life that feel like this. I'm thinking maybe with other people or the ways that you react to things. If you feel like there's this constant back and forth between things are great and then everything is sort of gone. This could also be sort of what it's speaking to. Yeah, let me see if this card gives us any more information. We have here the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, I'm going to read the guidebook again because even though I drew this card recently, I think this feels important to have a little refresher here. It's the Grecian myth of Oedipus. The Nine of Swords represents decision-making controlled by anxiety. The oracle at Delphi warns the king that his son Oedipus will one day kill him. Had he not let his fears control him and raised his son in love instead of hate, the king's eventual death could have been avoided. Decision-making controlled by anxiety. So this kind of speaks again to the Devil card. I think whatever this habit has been of yours or situation that you've been in, it is one that at first helped you sort of find a lot of nourishment in your life, right? But because of maybe some fears happening or some situations happening, I wonder if maybe some external things have like made some fears stronger in you more recently, or over time, not even necessarily so recently. I wonder if if maybe some strong fears have been coming up recently that have made you sort of lean more and more and more on this aspect, whether it's again, like your relationships, your career, this sort of attitude or your emotions, and now it's almost like an automatic, like, whenever something bad happens, yes, I'll just go do that, even though time has shown you that this is not the greatest answer for you. And so now my next question for the cards is, with this protective energy, how are you learning to protect yourself and sort of go back to using whatever aspect of life this is in a way that is healthy for you, that still guards against the cold, but without sort of overruling all other areas of your life, or without leading you into a darker spiral that is more and more difficult to get out of? What exactly is, how is this protectiveness coming about? What is it? And how are you learning to use it? Okay, I think this one's first, actually. So we have the Ace of Coins. I'm thinking that for some of you, this has come in an external manner, actually. Or rather, like, the reason you started shifting towards protection and self-preservation more is because something good has come into your life. That might be part of your shift that's happening. Something good is happening here. Something that feels refreshing and nourishing in a way that it hasn't for a while. Whether that is like literal fortune, money, maybe you have more financial power now to shift your life and your habits and your relationships or your career. Or maybe this is an offering from someone else to you that is helping, whether that is a way in through to a different situation, like a job or a new friend, or what else? Or maybe improved health, so like all these different aspects of your life. Something small, perhaps. Something has sort of, or is about to sort of shift your life a little bit in a good direction. Just enough to be able to stop relying on this crutch of yours. Let me see if we have more information here. We have as well the Two of Coins. Let me read about this one. I've never seen this one in my life. Two of Coins. It's the story of, oh no, I don't know how to pronounce this, of Witholt from the Pacific Northwest. It's a Haida myth. The Two of Coins represents the skill needed to balance opposing forces in life. For Witholt, the bear world and the human world collide. She embodies the dualities of work and family, hobbies and careers, and wants versus needs. So keywords for this card are multitasking, balance, choice, flexibility, and prioritization. Oh, look at that. Since the Ace of Coins is right next to it, this one's about Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, so I think this is saying that whether the world has sort of been gifting this to you or is about to gift this to you, or whether you've made it for yourself, a new opportunity has arisen that helps you better able to balance this and other parts of your life, or just balance your life in general so you don't have to rely on this, whatever this has been, as much moving forward. Or you are learning to rebalance so that this part of your life isn't so big a part anymore of what you are doing, and other aspects of your life that you know are important to you, that you're prioritizing those better now, up front. Yeah, what I see in this card too is a lot of love for these children, you know, the half bear, half human children this person has. She's juggling a lot of things at once and feeling very happy about it. I wonder if part of the shift that is happening is you, because the Eight of Wands, again, is about bringing fire to the people. I wonder if there's like a new purpose, maybe. This could also be what this is symbolizing. Maybe you found and refound or found a new purpose in your situations. And so caring for things or doing things feels a lot more fulfilling than it did before. It feels like it brings a lot more joy. You feel like you're tangibly improving the world in some way. So I think that approaches the end of our reading. To round us off, I would like to ask for a card from a different deck to see if it has any last words of wisdom or aspects of insight for you on this shift in your life. I think this one is the one. We have here summer, high energy. That brings us full circle back to the sun, the very first card that came out. You know, the devil energy has been taking up such a long period of your life, a large chunk and portion of it. But before that, you had the energy of the sun. You had a lot of high energy, you felt good, you felt like powerful, you felt like you were making a big impact, and I see you sort of returning to that. So you've been you've been sort of stuck in the weeds for a while. Maybe it's an era of your life that you sort of feel like is your winter, emotionally speaking, figuratively speaking. And now things are beginning to flourish again. So, my lovely visitor, I believe that concludes your reading. Thank you so much for listening or watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. Yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Best of luck with this shift in your life. And I hope to see you again. Bye.